Hey, Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews, and keeping in the spirit of the fall season, another Oktoberfest beer to try today. This one from Harpoon of both Boston, Massachusetts and Windsor, Vermont. This is the Harpoon Oktoberfest, and this is from the 2010 batch. So this Oktoberfest has an expiration date up here of 12/15/10. So I'm sampling this in September, so it should be pretty good. It's still a few months out from its maximum date. And so now, this particular Harpoon Oktoberfest comes in at 5.5% ABV and 30 IBUs. And now, I'm going to pour it into my Ethan Allen glass. I like to use this Ethan Allen glass. Those of you who have seen some of my reviews before when I'm drinking Harpoon, because Harpoon took over the old Catamount Brewery of Windsor, Vermont, where they used to brew this Ethan Allen. So I'm going to pour this into that, and let's give it a pop and see what happens. Okay. Now, let's give it a pour. Not a bad pour, I don't think. Maybe a little aggressive. It's being served in the upper 40-degree range right now. So, fills out this pint glass just right. Isn't that great? Okay, now, as you can see, this has a very nice looking, sort of a deep amber color with hints of red or ruby hues in there as well. And the head comes in at about 2 fingers. A very foamy and frothy kind of head with pretty lively carbonation. The aroma now. The aroma on this is well malted. Lots of malts coming in here. It's quite sweet and malty in that way. And maybe just a twinge of hops in the background, but the malts and the bitter sort of style and the sweetness really comes on strong up front. So, let's give it a taste. This is actually quite easy to drink. It's very smooth, really. Flavorful in the sense of being very sweet and bitter at the same time. But, you know, not strongly hopped. The malts come on up front in the taste. And there's maybe a slight hoppiness, really very faint. It's not something, you know, I think it's because you drink these kind of beers, you can notice the hops. The average person who doesn't normally drink craft beers might really not notice the difference that much. They might say, oh, this tastes like a Killian. Well, I think it's better than Killian. I'll put it to you that way. But it's got this kind of sweet and smooth and creamy mouthfeel going on, and a sweet, bittersweet flavor with a nice caramel malt taste that comes in as well. And just the slightest spiciness up back, peppery maybe, kind of a slight pepperiness, but you really have to kind of search for it. You got to think about it a bit to find it. It's not something that pops out. You sit there and sort of think about the taste for a few minutes, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's in there as well. So, but I really do admire the color on this, and the taste is actually, it's very pleasant. It's very sweet. It's also very, it's the kind of beer you might drink, you know, several of, because it's not offensive in any way, not overpowering in any way. It's one you just could kind of drink and have a nice conversation with your friends, and whatever you're doing, sitting outside and enjoying the early evening as the sun goes down by 6 o'clock and so on. And it's just one of those kind of beers that goes well with maybe some kind of a light meat, a pork or something, or chicken or something like that. But it's just one of these beers that that's above average. Let me put it that way. Very above average, smooth and easy to drink, and one that you could probably have a few of, you know, and still feel kind of satisfied that you've had a pretty good beer. So that's it for the Harpoon Oktoberfest 2010 series. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.